What up, YouTube? G4leader here once again. This is going to be kind of a personal video because of recent events that's been happening to me, and it's kind of annoying. Like, today I want to talk about like the obligation that we have as friends, you know, like there's certain shit that we don't like to do, but we do it anyway because we have that obligation as a friend. And today, I'm just talking about the obligation you have towards, like, if you were a guy, I know most guys had this happen, like, if you got a female friend and she constantly asks you for advice on the same shit, like, constantly the same shit, like, every time you talk, it's about the same topic over and over and over, and you can't not talk to her about it, because like I said, you got the obligation as a friend, so you have to listen to her. But it's just when she talk about the same shit over and over, complaining about the same thing over and over, it just get annoying because I know the solution to the problem. I told you the solution to the problem, but they don't listen. Like, every time you tell them something, it goes in one ear and out the other. So if that's the case, why do they keep coming to you for the same shit over and over and over? It don't make sense. Like, if you're not gonna listen to my advice, if you don't want my advice, why the fuck you keep talking to me about that shit? And I don't know, I just hate when they do that shit. And I ain't gonna mention this girl name, but it's just, she put everything into a relationship. She think because she don't have this one particular guy, her life is over. She's unhappy. She can't ever be happy because she don't have that one guy. I mean, and this is like ridiculous to me because there is 6 billion people in the world. This world is big, it's vast, there's beautiful places, there's awesome people in the world. And she don't want to experience none of this because she want to stay focused on this one guy that treat her like shit. And this guy has made her believe that everything she do is her fault. He has really convinced her that her way of acting is her fault and that they ain't working. Like, I could obviously tell that he's playing her, but I don't want to tell her that, you know, like, hey, this guy playing you, because she'd probably get pissed at me or, you know, or some shit like that. So I can't tell her that shit. But come on now, like, really now, like, relationships is not everything. Sometimes you can just focus on school, you can focus on friends, family, etc. You can focus on that shit. Relationships is not the end all be all to your life. Relationships should never define anyone. And this is like what people told me back in the past, and I listened to that shit, and my life is so much better. And I'm telling her this now, and one ear and out the other. Everything I tell her this, and her response to me is, I love him, I want him. I'm like, you ain't gonna get everything you want in life, you know? You have certain things you can control in life and certain things you can't control. This is something you can't control, so don't worry about it. Let it become secondary. Focus on things you can control. But I don't know, I don't think she'll ever listen to me, so I don't know, it's just, I'm stuck. I don't want to keep rehashing this over and over again, especially because at one point or another I did have a crush on her, and she knew this shit. So if she knew this shit, why the fuck would she keep throwing this shit in my face over and over again, you know? Like, you know I'm your friend and shit, you know I'm there for you and shit, and you know I'm a good guy, but don't take advantage of my kindness. And I feel like that's the shit she doing. So, but I guess it's certain obligations we have as friends that we have to go through dumb shit like that. So any other guys that know what I'm talking about, any other girls know what I'm talking about, people in general go through this shit, and it's just a certain obligation we have. It's a shitty obligation that we have to go through, but I don't know. I guess I'll continue to deal with it and find a new solution to it. Maybe I'll just fucking change the subject, try to change the subject from now on. But yeah, I just had to get that off my chest. I always wanted to talk about that shit because I don't know, it's happened to a lot of people. I know this now is happening to me. So, like, if you got any, if you've been through this shit, Hit me up in the comments below. How did you get your friend to, tell me, how did you get them to stop talking about that shit? Cause that shit is so mad annoying to me. So if you got any advice for me, help me out, hit me up.